All right, hopefully the microphone's working and everything. So we have Tales from the Hood review today. I know it's an older film, it didn't just come out, but I just watched it recently for the first time. Someone had mentioned this movie when I was holidaying in Paris. Just kidding, but when I was holidaying, someone did mention this. So I watched it pretty good. As you can see, I gave it a 3.5 stars. The rating, I would say this is relatively fair. This might be a little high in my opinion, 3.7. I always do the social commentary too, how I feel about other people, how they feel about the movie, right? See, that's an important component, the psychology and the social aspect, in my opinion. It's a 95 movie though, so I don't have the full picture on it, right? And I'm gonna do a review, well, like a mockery type review soon on like a classic or two. So that might be fun, just more of a joke video. But Tales from the Hood, I know on IMDb it has like I think a 6.7, and I felt like I couldn't rate it lower than it had because I thought it was a pretty fair rating. So I gave it a 7, and therefore I gave it a 7 on this, 3.5. And I think that's totally fair, really. And yeah, 3.7. I mean, pretty good. I mean, I can't really argue with that. It was a pretty good movie. As for if you have a low attention span, sometimes I'm a low attention span kind of person. This movie was good for that because it's like the four tales of fright or whatever, that kind of style. The different stories narrated basically, like, with the, I don't know the literary or movie terms for this. It's set with these gangsters that go to this house to get, like, the quote, the shit, like the drugs or whatever, that this funeral attendant finds at Samuel Jack, or I'm sorry, not Samuel Jackson. That's going to seem racist. They said that, right? Like, that was a whoopsie. Lawrence Fishburne, right? Lawrence Fishburne. He was in The Matrix. He's a good actor. I like seeing him in all these films. It comes swinging. We're pretty strong with a pretty funny joke. Like, I mean, the character is something like, again, spoilers like always. I'm going to discuss some plot points of the movie. Maybe I won't give away the ending though. So less spoilers in this one. Come right swinging right off the bat. Something they're talking about, these gangster guys were talking about like refried beans, and then like the one was like talking all like gangster, like, I don't know why they're gonna refry beans. Like, you should fry them. Get in there, fry it right the first time, then get out. And that joke was pretty funny to me. So it like came on very strong, like very entertaining right off the bat. The humor, unfortunately, didn't like hold to that standard throughout the film, like that like punchiness and like, because I thought that was actually pretty funny. But overall, it did have its funny moments. It obviously, this is actually not that horror movies, like, they don't, like, horror movies don't scare me, but like, this I thought would be a complete joke movie, and it actually was a little bit more serious than I thought, right? So there was definitely some funny moments in this. It was like a pretty good blend, actually, when I thought it would be a complete like joke, like film, just trying to be funny the entire time. When some of it was actually like a little spooky, it's like they kind of tried in some of these. So overall, pretty good. So there's the four tales. Again, 95. So the one where the kid is drawing a monster. There's a monster in his house, and then it's a little, I guess, in today's standards, it's a little cliche. So spoilers, the monster ended up being his dad, but there still was like a supernatural component to that one. So I do like respect that still. But like, I think there's a difference between making something on that subject matter in 95 than now in, 2025. Like, upon watching it now in modern day, you're kind of thinking like, okay, this subject is a little played out. Like, oh, my like parents, the monster. And honestly, I would even make that argument like referencing another movie. I would lightly, and I know a lot of people did like the Babadook, but I would kind of reference the Babadook in that regard. Like, oh, like, she's kind of the monster. Her depression, she's the monster. And it's like, to me, that's kind of lame. I don't know. I didn't really like. I don't know if lame's like the right word to use, right? I don't know if that's like a no word nowadays. I just found that kind of like a bummer. Just like, oh god, she's like, it's all it's like it's a metaphor for her depression or whatever. And that's also why, see, a lot of movies now don't work because of that, in my opinion. And I probably should have just done a review on it. See, it's like almost I'm like wasting reviews by just mentioning other movies, right? But I could be making like a full video. But the Woman in the Yard was another recent one that had that again. In this movie, in Tales of the Hood, it was 1/4 of the Tales, and it was still pretty decent. And it was 95. So what I'm saying is, it sort of gets a pass for it. But seeing that subject matter now, you're thinking like, can it be done? Can it be done well? Yes, of course. I'm not saying it can't be done and it can't be done well, but you have to do it like really well. And I see movies like The Woman in the Yard, and it's like, oh, like it's symbolic for her like grief and depression. And it's like, okay, cool. So like this, none of this really happened. I mean, it happened, but it didn't happen. And I hate movies like when they end like that, where you're like, so what really happened even, you know? And if you want to make a movie that's like a drug trip, then like do it. It's cool. I like psychedelic like movies where you're like, I don't really know what's happening, if like they're in an alternate universe right now and all this weird stuff's happening. And I think like, I don't know, cool movies like that. There are more in like the body horror realm, which I actually tend to not like, but I really liked Infinity Pool. It was kind of like almost like a trippy psychedelic type movie. I think another one was Possessor. That one was a little slower, but I think Possessor had some like cool psychedelic sort of like mind bendy type elements to it. But movies that are like mind bendy, but then in the end it's revealed that like, oh, it was her depression the whole time, where it's kind of like, that's sort of like a cop-out bummer to me. Like, I'd rather there actually be a real threat, like well, there was a real threat, right? But like, the real threat is like a real monster, a real ghost or demon or whatever it is. So sorry, that was a side tangent. Overall, Tales from the Hood, pretty good. The stories are all pretty decent. They actually, in my opinion, hold up pretty well. 2025. Obviously, it's like how do I say this? You know, it's thematic. It's black people. Tales from the Hood. It's like, you know, a lot of these stories, they deal with like racism and whatever, but they do it in a pretty good way. I think. I mean, that's not completely like tacky or anything. Like, I think they did a good job with it, with some of the subject matter here. And yeah, and that brings me to the point, I guess, very short review, because I was excited to see this, and I was like, oh, you know, that was pretty good. And I was like, oh, Tales from the Hood 2, that's also on streaming, so I gave that a watch after this one, and I gotta say, that one was complete bummer. Oh, yeah, sorry, the procedural, right? Procedural. Let's, before we get to the second one, let's go to reviews. We're gonna read about 2 pages of reviews here. Maybe I'll do accents too. Maybe. Oh, I don't want to get canceled though, right? I was just gonna like do funny voices or something, not necessarily accents, right? But see, now I'm kind of scared to do that. To me, I don't want to, like, you know, in case I do the wrong one or whatever. But I might do a light male and female if I notice a picture or something, right? So that's about it. Let's go to newest. Whoa, 3.5. Okay, cool. Yeah, banger, 3.5. This like, you know, what's wrong, Jerome? Don't like seeing black people being killed, but isn't that what you've been doing your whole life? One of the multiple interesting quotes of the tales in the movie. Also, super interesting commentary on black violence in this movie. Yeah, I would agree. That's a pretty solid review. What's wrong, Jerome? Don't like seeing black people being killed, but isn't that what you've been doing your whole life? Oh, yeah, that was a good one, right? That was, I think, the last tale. Yeah, they ended it on a good one, too. That was almost like the last one was like almost like the sci-fi, like sci-fi-ish, like gothic sci-fi kind of thing. It was pretty cool. I liked it. I kind of liked, yeah, Crazy K. I mean, he wasn't a good person, but I kind of liked Crazy K as a character, right? So, yeah, I mean, all the tales were pretty solid. I think the monster one was the weakest one, and it still was pretty okay. Like, it wasn't terrible. Tales from the Hood, 1995, Rusty I can't even pronounce it. Conduit's horror anthology asks the tough questions, such as why do beans need to be fried twice? There we go. Yeah, that was one of the funnier jokes in the movie. Rusty fried that shit right the first time. It's become a cult fave. Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, probably as it deserves for it. It's Totally fair. Sheesh, this was way bleaker than I remembered. Yeah, that's what I liked about it, right? The only memory I had was of the puppets in the third story, which had me believing the film had more of a comedic tone. Still, that was probably one of the more comedic ones of it. Still a great watch. I thoroughly enjoyed Tales from the Hood. Each story is better than the last, with a fully realized concept and emotional cry for help. Fair enough. Yeah, 4.5. I mean, I think it's a little high, but it's good. Good. Let's skip around a little bit here. I guess the ending does get spoiled to you, maybe, here. This ain't no funeral home. It ain't the Terror Dome neither. Welcome to hell. Mother effers. I don't know if you can say that F word. I think you can. You can say that F word on YouTube, right? Ending was bonkers. Yeah, and that's the whole thing with Lawrence Fishburne in this movie, too. He was so over the top, but it worked. For a movie like this, it totally worked. I liked his, like, crazy, sinister, like, looks he had, where he's, like, veering off into the distance and looking like, like insane. Like, I liked that. In movies, sometimes that comes across as, like, tacky, but in the tone of the movie, it completely worked because it was kind of like, it was comedy horror done, like, pretty well, and comedy horror oftentimes doesn't work for me. So, yeah, overall good. Like, I won't probably keep reading these. The ending had me laughing. Yeah, it was like over the top. It was pretty funny. It was over the top. People scared of hell though. I mean, maybe that's spooky to them, right? All right, let's get out of that then. Really quick commentary. Oops, sorry. Tales from the Hood 2. Quick commentary on Tales from the Hood. Not nearly as long on this one. Okay, so I gave it a 1.5. It might not even deserve that, to be honest. Like a 3 out of 10. It really was not very good. I wanted to like it. I didn't. The stories didn't really work. Now 2018, like some of this shit doesn't work anymore, right? Like, I think this one, again, I guess minor spoilers in all of them. This one you see in the top, what do you call this? HUD, like the image here on top of the screen, splash screen, whatever. That was probably one of the better stories in Tales of the Hood 2, and it was still like, It was it was the gay guy from the like semi-larger gay guy from the show Mad Men. I really liked him in that show. I really liked him a lot in that show. The actor seems really good. But yeah, it was a little goofy. That was almost a little too goofy for me. But it was probably one of the better ones where he gets possessed by a pimp that these gang members kill. And he gets possessed and he's like, his whole show is like phony. He's like one of those phony, like I talk to like, ghosts thing. But then he listens to the audience and gathers intel. And then, that kind of, what do you call that? That con or whatever. But then he actually gets possessed by this, like, pimp that these gangsters get. And then the pimp gets revenge. And, I mean, it's kind of like corny. It was all right. That was one of the better ones. But then some of these were just... Some of them were just really not very good. Like, the robot ending was bad, I thought. I really didn't like it. 2018, we have a black girl who's friends with a white girl. And they clearly probably live somewhere in the South. And they go to this museum of... I can't even say the word. It's like museum of like exaggerated like racist black history. It's like called something else. And basically it doesn't really work to me. Not that these relationships never exist, but it is over the top. Like the whitewashed black girl thing is over the top in this, where like the friend will say the N-word around her. It doesn't seem to faze her at all. She just agrees with like, oh, this is like silly. This is stupid, right? Like, and I was going to say in 1995, it wouldn't make any sense at all. In 2018, I guess it starts to make a little bit more sense, like the whole like whitewashed, like forget your history, like type of black girl or whatever, or black person in general, right? I want to be careful with my words talking about like black culture and black people, right? Yeah, obviously, it's like there's always a side to that where it's like I don't have the right to even comment on it or whatever socially, but it seemed like, I mean, I'm arguing against the whitewashedness, right, of this, where it seems like, is there cases of this? Yes, but the amount of whitewashedness of this black girl where she doesn't seem to be fazed at all by any of this like racist shit is kind of ridiculous to me. So I don't know. That character didn't really like work. Like it wasn't interesting. It wasn't like the character wasn't alive enough for me, and it was just like a lot of these had to do. A lot of them were sexual now. Like I don't know if the director changed or is the director the same. I don't even know. I'm not gonna even check. But a lot of them became like kind of weirdly sexual now, and then like a doll in the museum started whipping the like black girl and then her boyfriend to death. Her white boyfriend, he whipped him to death. She got killed somehow. She got maybe I think she got I don't even know. Did she get whipped to death? I forget. Um, yeah, a lot more like crass and sexual, kind of. If that's the right word. And then the white girl loves the dolls that her like nanny like gave her, like her like black nanny, and then like the big large doll has a doll head, squeezes her butt at the end, and then like later on, like sketch later is that she's like pregnant with these like black like doll babies or whatever, and she's like laughing like a crazy person and like dies giving birth to all these like doll things. It's like really weird. And then the second one was about like SA, like sexual I don't know if you can't use these terms or not. Grape. I hear that a lot in my political videos. One of them is about like it's about these two dudes. They go they what do they do? They're on Tinder. They meet up with these girls. They're pretending to be like casting director or whatever, like movie star type stuff. They're reeling these girls in by like this phony story that they have more power and prestige than they do, essentially. And then it takes a turn. It takes a real dark turn because, and again, this skit, it's not even that subject matter that is so incredibly off-putting that it's immediately bad, but it's just like it was kind of a brain dead skit. It's 2018, and the sketches, half the sketch is them playing apples to apples together, and they're like oh, goofy answers, and they're commenting on the answers like, yeah, that's what like me and my friends do. That's the whole point of the game. You like do like a goofy, edgy answer to like apples to apples. It's not good like film. So I'm like talking louder because I'm actually like passionate about how much I don't like that scene. It takes forever. It's boring. You have four actors and actresses playing apples to apples, and it's supposed to be like interesting and funny, and it's not. It's completely boring. And then you see the guy slip something in the one girl's drink, and oh, sorry, this is the whole thing too. They get there and wannabe actresses, and they're in this nice. It almost looks like this nice L.A. like mansion home, and they're like, I don't know if they're wannabes or whatever. So they thought that was odd. Their house is very very nice, right? So anyway, the guy slips something in the girl's drink, and it turns out they're not here just to sleep with these girls, like lie about being, directors or whatever. They're here to SA them and film it, which is disgusting, right? So these girls, they're lying on the bed, and then the guys are like setting up the camera, like discussing what they're gonna like do to them, and then in the camera you see the underwear, the bra like floating. There's no girls. And then you think, as someone who's, been on the planet more than a couple decades, you're like, oh, they're vampires, right? And then next thing they know, they look up they look down at the camera again, and the undergarments are floating like upwards, upright, vertically. And you're like, oh no, the vampires are awake, but in reality, I kind of want these guys to die anyway at this point. And then it's all like spooky. They're like, and they're like snarling, like vampire, like the corny vampires, right? So then they bite them, and then they put them in some kind of underground like basement chamber for the other underling. Like that's a common thing in the vampire lore in these movies or whatever, that there's like almost like zombie vampires. They're like the underlings that are more like almost like zombies. They're more brainless. So then they unleash these brainless zombie vampires to get their meal. These two, basically these like these disgusting guys. So I mean, it's like a good ending, I guess, to that tale, but overall terrible, terrible one. So that one's really bad. The robot one was really bad. This one was one of the only good ones. The possession one, I kind of forget the other ones. Oh, there was the one where they go to the museum one, and what else was there? How many were there in this one? I mean, some of them were probably so bad that I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't even. Is there pictures? I don't know. Not very memorable, this one. So yeah, quick commentary on Tales from the Hood 2. Yeah, complete bummer. So anyway, first one was good. If you haven't seen it though, for 95 holds up pretty well. Don't expect it, like it's not gonna be like super hard hitting. Like, oh my god, the terror. This is so scary. But it actually was a little bit more than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a complete like humor joke movie, and it actually did. Like other reviewers have said, it did touch on actual like some social issues somewhat, and it actually tried to be kind of scary, tried to be kind of spooky, and it tried to be kind of funny. And the campiness, the corniness. You got Lawrence Fishburne. That worked for me. Like the funny, the goofy, insane, deranged faces he was making. It made for like an entertaining movie. So it was overall Tales from the Hood 1 was good, and it worked for me. Tales from the Hood 2 did not work. I never saw the third. I probably won't. I will quickly look it up. It's probably bad as well, let's be honest, but we'll see. This one has a what? This one, 2 has a 2.3, and 3 has, this is 2020, 2.6, so a little better, but not really much better there. Yeah, 2.3 and 2.6. Not expecting much from that. Anyway, that's the review. I'll probably do like kind of a mock, like not a mockumentary, but like a mock review of Alien soon too. Just kind of like commentary on Alien, which is a good movie, but I do have kind of a joke review on that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. Tales from the Hood. I would say check it out. Check it out. Pretty good. First one, not second, by the way.